And how you guys doing? This is very important in reference to psychological slavery crimes of government. Let's see your financial portfolios in the courtroom. They're still hitting me in the teeth right there. That's part of my anatomy. It's another $50 trillion lawsuit. Now, see, this is very important in reference to family wealth and how wealthy my parents and grandparents were. Do you guys know who my grandparents are? They're some of the richest people in American history. Why don't you call the History Channel and ask them? My DNA matches my grandfather and my mother and father, family bloodline history. So it's very important. So in reference to the satellite man and his activity of their satellite slavery torture, cracking the whip on people, zapping them in the mouth and teeth, claiming they're playing Sim City terrorism games, trying to claim they were controlling a person's life by abusing them. You think you outrank me, government man? Do you own more land than me? Do you own more land than my parents and grandparents? I'm the owner of the estates of my parents and grandparents. What do you own in this country, government man? You're violating the laws of this country. You think you had right damage in my teeth? And we need all the things that you accusated, that you claim that I ever said when you've been abusing me. See, I'm not playing your instigation game, government man. You attacking me and then forcing me to have to bitch about you and your political family terrorizing my life. And then you accused me of being the bad guy. When you initiated the abuse, you initiated the crimes of your people stealing from me and my mother and father's companies. You initiated your crimes when you trespassed on my mother and father's property. When your people kidnapped me from my mother and father's mansions. We need the earliest date that they have on record in reference to court cases that my mother and father had court cases about these political families when they had trespassed on my mother and father's property. And that must be publicized in every newspaper and every website and news media. And they need to put it in movies too, in the History Channel. These political families that trespassed on my mother and father's property and my grandparents' property. And these people must be charged for financial fraud, such as them torturing me on jobs, and then me having lawsuits against the government when I've worked on jobs, and then the government covering it up and stealing the lawsuit monies, and then forcing me to have to find another job and another job and another job each and every time they have abused me on jobs. Or when I've had to work on jobs and they were burning me with satellites. And then the government and the courts are holding on to monies that I was supposed to have received. And then the courts or somebody in the satellite control room is telling me to go out and get another job when they tried to murder me on every other job. I need my lawsuit monies. It's attempted murder every second of every fucking day that the courts or the government is holding on to lawsuit monies that I was supposed to have received. I'm not playing your psychological warfare games, government man. It's all about numbers. Financial numbers. Now, how big's my lawsuits? We need somebody to put it in a newspaper or on a website. Lawsuits go up every day. Every time you're touching me, every time you're burning me, every time you're staring at me, every time you're causing me problems. Every time you're intercepting phone calls from females that are female friends of mine or Hollywood celebrities that have tried to call me. Or any reference to any of my mother or father's companies or mansions. Or the lawn care company that takes care of some of the properties. You've been intercepting their phone calls too. You need to go to court, government man. The FCC, you need to do something or you're going to be charged for treason,